The silent battle that shapes every human life. There's a battle happening inside you right now. You can't see it. You can't touch it. But it decides everything. Your peace, your pain, your success, your suffering. It's the battle between who you think you are and who you're meant to be. Every human carries this war in silence. It's the tension between our masks and our truth, between comfort and growth, between fear and freedom. Carl Jung called it the individuation process, the lifelong struggle to integrate the parts of ourselves we've rejected. He believed that until we make the unconscious conscious, it will rule our lives, and we will call it fate. So, think about this for a moment. How much of your life has been shaped, not by choice, but by habit, by fear, by the need to fit in? You see, this silent battle doesn't begin when we're adults. It begins the moment we learn that being ourselves, ISNT, always safe. As children, we're pure potential, raw, unfiltered, unshaped. We laugh when something's funny. We cry when something hurts. We act from truth. But soon, the world begins to whisper rules into our minds. Don't say that. Don't cry. Be good. Fit in. We start to edit ourselves, to hide certain emotions, to play roles that keep us accepted. Psychologists call this our persona, the mask we build to survive in society. It protects us, but over time, it becomes so convincing. We forget it's not who we really are. Jung described this as the greatest tragedy of the human soul, to mistake the mask for the self. And this is where the battle begins. The child within us still longs for authenticity, freedom, and expression, but the adult mind, shaped by fear of rejection, keeps it locked away. Viktor Frankl once wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose." But most people never reach that space. They react automatically, driven by invisible programs built in childhood. Napoleon Hill called these habits of thought mental blueprints that quietly decide our destiny. He said, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, only when you learn to master your mind." And that's the paradox. The mind we use to survive is the same mind that keeps us trapped. Think about it. How often do you silence your truth just to avoid conflict? How often do you chase goals that don't even belong to you? How much of your anxiety comes not from failure, but from the exhausting effort to pretend? This is the silent battle. Every human must face the war between survival and self-realization. But here's what no one tells you. The parts of you that you've buried, the anger, the fear, the insecurity, the envy, they don't disappear. They just go underground. Jung called this the shadow. It's the collection of everything you deny in yourself. And the more you reject it, the more power it gains. The shadow shows up in subtle ways. In the people who irritate you, the habits you can't control, the self-sabotage you can't explain. You may think you're avoiding pain, but what you're really doing is hiding from the mirror. Alan Watts once said, "The ego is nothing other than the focus of conscious attention." We identify so much with this narrow beam of who we think we are that we forget the vast ocean beneath it. That ocean is the unconscious, where your fears, desires, and forgotten dreams live. And until you dive into it, your life will always feel slightly off, like you're living someone else's story. Now, here's the turning point. The silent battle cannot be won by force. It's not about defeating your shadow, it's about integrating it. When you face what you've been avoiding, you reclaim the energy that was trapped in resistance. You stop running. You stop pretending. You become whole. Nietzsche called this the process of becoming who you are. He believed that only by embracing both our light and darkness could we rise above mediocrity. Man, he wrote, is something that shall be overcome. It's not about perfection. It's about evil. Each moment of awareness, each honest look inward, transforms you. But beware. The ego will fight back. It will whisper, "You don't need to change." It will distract you with comfort, validation, and noise. Because the ego's survival depends on your ignorance. It doesn't care if you're happy. It only cares that you stay the same. So, ask yourself, when was the last time you sat in silence long enough to truly feel who you are beneath the noise? Silence reveals truth, and truth, once seen, cannot be unseen. The moment you begin to see this inner conflict clearly, you stop being its victim and start becoming its observer. This is where transformation begins. In Buddhism, they call it mindfulness, the practice of observing thought without attachment. In Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius called it logos, living in harmony with reason and truth. In psychology, it's self-awareness, the capacity to notice your own patterns. Different words, same truth. The key isn't to silence the mind, but to understand it, to realize that thoughts are not commands, feelings are not facts, and the past is not destiny. Every time you catch yourself reacting automatically, pause, take a breath. Notice the space between stimulus and response. That's the battlefield. That's your freedom. Viktor Frankl survived the horrors of concentration camps not because he was stronger, but because he discovered a meaning that pain could not destroy. He said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Meaning turns suffering into strength. Awareness turns pain into power. So maybe this silent battle isn't something to escape. Maybe it's the training ground for your soul. Each moment of doubt is a test of faith. Each failure is a chance to transcend. Each wound is an invitation to heal. And when you finally stop running from your own depths, you'll find that the monster you feared was just a part of you waiting to be understood. Imagine this for a moment. You wake up one day, and for the first time, you stop pretending. You stop chasing. You stop comparing. You simply are. The noise fades. The inner war quiets. And in that silence, you hear something familiar. The voice you silenced long ago. It whispers, "Welcome home." That is the moment of becoming, not the moment you achieve something, but the moment you return to yourself. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, not who society expects, not who fear demands. Who you are." The silent battle never fully ends, but your relationship to it changes. You no longer see it as an enemy, but as a teacher, because every shadow you face, every doubt you confront, every pain you transcend, brings you closer to wholeness. And that's what this human experience is about. Not perfection, not happiness, but integration, understanding, becoming. Alan Watts described it beautifully. You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself. You are not separate from the struggle. You are the struggle. And through it, consciousness evolves. So, if you find yourself lost right now, if you feel like you're fighting an invisible war within, remember this: you are not broken. You are becoming. This is the silent battle that shapes every human life. And the moment you choose awareness over avoidance, you win. If this message spoke to you, if it helped you see yourself a little more clearly, subscribe to Becoming You, and keep walking this path of awareness, growth, and truth. And if you've watched until the end, comment the word awareness below, because that's where transformation begins.